Good evening, folks. It's your bro, Richie here. Good evening to you all. Tonight in this video is now part 3, I think, presumably, on SRT. Tonight in this video, I'll be talking to you all about the next part. So tonight in this video, I'll be talking to you all about the next part of the video, which is previous vehicles. So the previous cars, which had the SRT configurations and abbreviations to it. Okay, so there's how many there are? So there's not much on it, but oh my god. But yeah, we also got a list of all the cars. So it's gonna be quite a lot, but oh well, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so it's gonna be a list. Anyways, so yeah, before I start, make sure you guys all like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell, and hit all so you'll alert when I make brand new uploads. Okay, so without any further ado, let's begin. So starting out, so the next part, previous vehicles. Here we go. So the cars in the past before, which had the SRT abbreviation, was most of them are from these SRT branded cars such as Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep. So far we got the Dodge Neon SRT4. So from SRT4 we got both the Dodge Neon, so Dodge Neon, and Dodge Caliber, or how you call it, so spelled C-A-L-I, so C-A-L-I, short initials for California, so Cali, and then B-E-R, so Caliber, or something like that. So both Neon and Caliber, something like that, SRT4. Then we got the Chrysler Crossfire, Chrysler Crossfire, SRT6, worst car in the world. So Chrysler Crossfire, Chrysler Crossfire, SRT6, worst car in the world. And we got a Chrysler 300C, SRT8, and another one of the worst cars in the world. Next we got is the Dodge Magnum SRT8, which is like a wagoned up version of the Charger. I don't know, but it kind of looks almost identical, just with some few minor different tweaks, touches, bits and pieces to it. I don't know. Some water. Always important to stay hydrated. So yeah, we got both the Neon and Caliber SRT4, Crossfire SRT6, 300C SRT8, Dodge Magnum SRT8. It's a Dodge Magnum SRT8, Charger SRT8, also from Dodge, Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT8, Challenger SRT8, so from Dodge, Chrysler 300 SRT, the Charger, so Dodge Charger, so Charger SRT8, Viper, SRT10, presumably might have been the Gen 1 or Gen 2. So they have a Viper SRT10, Ram Truck SRT10, another Viper SRT10, another Viper, as known as the SRT, the new 2013-2017 version, which is the latest Viper. Um, so we got the Viper SRT10, Ram SRT10, another Viper SRT10, another Viper, but the Gen 3 version, Grand Cherokee, which they use the SRT abbreviation, which they had the same exact 707 horsepower, supercharged 6.2 liter V8, which you get in both the Charger and Challenger Hellcats and Demons. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So we got the Viper SRT10 Ram Truck, so Viper SRT10 Ram Truck SRT10, another Viper SRT10, the 2013-17 Viper, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the Dodge Durango 392, so the Dodge Durango SRT 392, Jeep Wrangler Rubicon SRT 392. Well, it's just a regular 392 presumably, and the Ram Truck 1500 TRX, presumably an SRT or standard. I don't know. Anyway, so next one we're gonna do is the list. There's so much for this, unbelievable. And I'll do one more, which is not gonna take that long anyway, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so last one before I do the next video. Let's do it. So we've got how many cars? There are 11. So many cars there are. $31 cars. Not too bad. One of them has a German engine, but I'll get to that in a little bit. Okay, so starting off with the first one is the Chrysler 300. So Chrysler 300 SRT. After facelift, it was in Australia, New Zealand, and the Middle East. So yeah, the Middle East. So from 2015 to 2013, not 30, sorry, 2015 to 2023. There we go. Sorry, I got that confused for a second. So yeah, 2015 to 2015 to 2013. It made 485 horsepower, 0 to 60, so 485 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, 0 to 60 4.5 seconds, so 0 to 60 4.5 seconds, quarter mile 12.6 seconds. So that's 300 SRT. Next is the Challenger. Next is both the Challenger and Charger SRT 392. So the Challenger is after the facelift. The Charger was the Gen 2 LD, and also after the facelift. Both from 2015 to 2018 this time. Same power, 485 horsepower, 0 to 60, 4.5 for the Challenger, 4.6 for the Charger. Quarter mile, 12.6 seconds for the Challenger, 12.8 for the Charger. So 12.6 for the Challenger, 12.6 seconds for the Challenger, 12.8 for the Charger. So the 300cc and the Challenger and Charger have the same exact power, 485 horsepower. Pretty good. So the Chrysler was from 2015 to 2013. Challenger and Charger were both from 2015 to 2018. So 2015 to 2018. All three were roughly the same power, 0 to 60 quarter mile. Next is the Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT. Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT. Gen 4 WK2. Gen 4 WK2 after the facelift as well. This time from 2014 to 2021. With slightly less power, the 2014 version made 470 horsepower. So the 2014 version was 470 horsepower, and the 2015 version onwards made 475 horsepower. The 0 to 60 was slightly faster than the Challenger and Charger, 4.4 seconds. Quarter mile, a little bit slower, 13 seconds flat. Next is the Durango. Next is the Durango SRT 392 from 2018 to 2024. Same 475 horsepower, same 0 to 60, quarter mile slightly faster, just a tenth of a second faster, from 13 to 12.9 seconds. And then we got the Jeep Wrangler 390, Jeep Wrangler 392 from 2018 to not 2018. So Jeep Wrangler 392 from 2021. So the Durango was from 2018 to 2021. So the Durango was from 2018 to 2024. The last but certainly not the very least we got is the Jeep Wrangler 392. Jeep Wrangler 392. So Jeep Wrangler 392 from 2021. So from 2021 to 2024. With 470 horsepower, so slightly less powerful. 0 to 60, 4.5 seconds. Quarter mile, 12.9 seconds, the same as the Durango SRT 392. All of which are the SRT 392s, and all have the same exact naturally aspirated 6.4 liter. So the same exact naturally aspirated Apache motor, a 6.4 liter 392 Hemi V8. All of them have the same exact engine. All of them are SRT 392s. Few with roughly the same power, nearly the same 0 to 60. Same, also similar quarter miles, all that kind of stuff. So from the 300 SRT to the Wrangler 392. Okay, next we got is the next three. Well, four actually. So we got both the Challenger and Charger SRT Hellcats. Both from 2015 to 2023. They're known as the SRT Hellcats. So 0 to 60, both in 3.6 seconds. Quarter miles different. 11.2 for the Challenger, 11 seconds dead on for the so 11.2 seconds for the Challenger, 11 seconds flat for the Charger. Next is the Grand Cherokee SRT Trackhawk, the Gen 4 WK2 from 2018 to 2021. It's known as the SRT Trackhawk with around 707 horsepower. Same exact horsepower, 707 as the Challenger and Charger SRTs. So 0 to 60 slightly faster, considering despite it being a heavy SUV. 3.5 seconds. Quarter mile, a little bit slower, 11.6 seconds. Last but certainly not the release for this is the Ram 1500 TRX from 2021 to 2024. It's known as the TRX with 702 horsepower, so 5 less than the Challenger, Charger, and Grand Cherokee Trackhawk, but well, roughly the same amount of power. It's roughly the same amount of power. 0 to 60 was a whole second slower, from 3.5 to 4.5 seconds. Quarter mile is over a second slower, 1.3 seconds slower, from 11.6 to 12.9 seconds. So 12.9 seconds. All four of which have the same exact engine, a 6.2 liter supercharged Hemi V8 from the Hellcat. So from the Challenger SRT Hellcat to the Ram 1500 TRX. Next is the Challenger SRT Hellcat Red-Eye. It's a Hellcat Red-Eye. It's a Red-Eye version. 90, almost 100 horsepower more than the regular Hellcat. So we got both the Challenger and Charger SRT Hellcat Red-Eye. So the years the Challenger was from 2020. So Challenger was from 2022. So Challenger was from 2020 to 2023. Charger was from 2021 to 2023. Both known as the SRT Red-Eye. So SRT Red-Eye. Say Red-Eye. So SRT Red-Eye. Both made 797 horsepower. Both do 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. Doesn't say for the Charger, and that doesn't say for the quarter mile because it's the same as for the Challenger. Both do 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, and both have a quarter mile time of 10.8 seconds. That's pretty good. It's not as good as the next version of the car after a few more that I'll talk about, which has the craziest quarter mile time. I'll tell you in a little bit. Say in a little bit. Okay, so both the Challenger and Charger SRT Hellcat Red-Eye, Challenger from 2020 to 2023, Charger from 2021 from 2023. Both are the SRT Red-Eye, both with 797 horsepower. Both do 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, and both have a quarter. So both do 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, and both have a quarter mile time of 10.8 seconds. Next is both the Challenger and Charger SRT Jailbreak. That's right, jailbreak. That jailbreak. This is getting crazy. Both from 2022. Both are known as the SRT Jailbreak, and they both make an extra 10 horsepower more, so 807 horsepower. 10 more than the Hellcat Red-Eye versions of those cars. So 807 horsepower, both do same exact 0 to 60, 3.6 seconds. However, the quarter mile is a tad slower, just 11 seconds flat, just 0.2 of a second slower than both the Red-Eye versions of those cars. All four of which have the same exact 6.2 liter supercharged Hemi high output V8, so they're the Hellcat V8 motors. All four have the same exact V8 6.2 liter supercharged Hellcat high output or HO Hemi V8 motor. So they all four have the same exact motor. Similar powers, same 0 to 60, similar quarter mile, all that kind of stuff. Next one is my most favorite one, the most craziest version of all. You guys are gonna love this one. You probably know it already, and this is one of my most favorite one. But I'll use it mostly for drag racing. Yep, you know this one, the mighty Challenger SRT Demon. That's right, SRT Challenger SRT Demon. That's right, the Demon. Legit one of the best. So from 2017 to 2018, the shortest lifespan it had of any car for only a year. It was just crazy. That's why this car might be rare. Well, like how many were limited by. From 2017 to 2018, limited to just only 3,500 cars. So 3,500 or 3,500 cars only. So it's known as the SRT Demon. It has the same 6.2 liter super 6.2 liter supercharged Demon. It has the same 6.2 liter supercharged V8, but this one's a different version. It has a 6.2 liter, a 6.2 liter, a 6. What? Rambling too much. There we go. Okay, so moving on to the Challenger SRT Demon from 2017 to 2018. From 2017 to 2018, limited to just only 3,500, so 3,500 cars. So it's known as the SRT Demon. It has a 6.2 liter supercharged Demon Hemi V8. It's technically the same engine as you get in the Hellcat. However, differences: power 0 to 16 quarter mile. It has, with upgrades from the $1 crate you get as an option. It's optional if you wish. And with proper racing fuel, upgraded crate parts, skinny front wheels, air intake, ECU, center console, all that kind of stuff, blah 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 blah. So lightweight, skinny front wheels, and you get a total of a head-aching, skull-shattering, heart-cracking, what else can I say? Soul-shattering, 840 horsepower. Legit crazy, 840 horsepower. And 0 to 60, 2.3 seconds. 2.3 seconds. Quarter mile 9.65 seconds. Technically a 10-second car. The fastest and most powerful V8 production accelerating car in history by Dodge. Wow. It's the fastest, most powerful Challenger ever in the world. Well, it used to be, until the Demon 170 was released with over 1,000 horsepower. 1,000 horsepower from that. What is going on? This is crazy. So the Challenger Demon between 2017 and 18, limited to just only 3,500 cars. Notice the SRT Demon, obviously. 6.2 liters supercharged Demon Hemi V8. So V8, 840 horsepower, 0 to 60, 2.3 seconds. Quarter mile, 9.65 seconds. Next is the slightly less crazy cars now. Something that doesn't really kill you. Something that's quite safe, but still pretty fast and light as well. Now I got the Dodge Neon. Dodge Neon SRT 4. Which, in Too Fast is a little bit of kind of an odd, kind of disappointing story about that car. When Too Fast and Furious was being made, the crew, even Craig Lieberman, the technical advisor for the first two Fast and Furious movies, discussed what car should be meant for Brian O'Connor, Paul Walker's character. God rest his soul, may rest in peace. So God rest his soul, may rest in peace. So they were discussing about this actually with that car. They were deciding what car should be meant for Brian for the first race against the RX-7, uh, driven by Orange Julius, played by Amamuri Nolasco. So RX-7, the Supra, driven by Slapjack, played by Michael Ealy, and so the Supra and the S2000, driven by Suki, played by Devon Aoki. So they were discussing about this, what car should be fit for Brian, Paul Walker's character, and they were suggesting the new Neon SRT 4. But Craig disagreed. They was thinking, no way, there's no way it's gonna happen. So he was telling them that it's a bad idea, and then that's when the Skyline was decided. And by the way, the Skyline that was used in the movie, it was Craig's personal R34, and also some stunt cars were made for the movie. And just after Too Fast and Furious was done, Paul Walker got his. Well, he had a chance to drive it because he placed he placed an order for his one, so he had to wait until his personal R34 was uh was ordered. Like he has to wait until his R34 turns up. So until then, he drove Craig's personal R34. So it was pretty good. So after that movie was done, Paul got his R34. And the rest was history. So yeah, so we got the Dodge Neon SRT4 from 2003 to 2005. Year I was born. It's known as the SRT4. It had a 2.4 liter turbocharged inline four motor. It made for the following years. In 2003, it made 215 horsepower back in 2003. In both 2004 and 5, it made 230 horsepower, so 15 more than what 2003 was offered. 0 to 60 was different depending on the years. So the earliest, between 5.6 to 5.3 seconds. So 0.3 of a second difference there. So from 2003, it did 5.6. So that means 0405 was slightly faster by 0.3 of a second to 5.3 seconds. Quarter mile was a little bit different, between 14.1 to 13.9 seconds. So the 03 was done in 14.1. The 0405 was 0.2 a second faster, so 13.9 seconds, 0.2 a second faster than the 03 version. So depending on the version you would go with, we'll verify depending on the power, 0 to 60, and the quarter mile. I'll admit, not many people will say it's irrelevant. Other people will say it will be. It depends. But yeah, it really doesn't matter. Yeah, all that matters is your decisions. I mean, all our decisions, what we like, don't like, that's how it goes. That's the part of living, you know. Can't complain about that. So there's power differences, 0 to 60 and quarter mile. Next is the Caliber SRT4 from the years 2008 to 2009, also known as the SRT4, and this time has the same engine but is known as the World motor, a 2.4-liter turbocharged World inline 4. Okay, that got me a little bit confused of why they call the motor World. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that got me confused a little bit. This version of the inline 4 is the most powerful inline 4. It made 285 horsepower, the most powerful, so pretty good. Despite it being the most powerful, the 0 to 60 in the quarter mile was not so great at all. Almost a full second slower. It's almost a full second slower to 60 and half a second slower. So around almost half a second, so nearly a full second slower to a quarter mile. 0 to 60 was dealt with in 6.2 seconds. Quarter mile 14.6 seconds. Next is the Chrysler Crossfire SRT6. Yep. So the years was from 2005 to 2006. It was an SRT6, by the way. And this time for the engine, it was a good engine. It was a Mercedes AMG M112, a 3.2 liter, a 3.2 liter, V6, a 3.2 liter, V6. Pretty good engine. Well, inline 6. Mercedes, I don't think Mercedes ever did a car with a V6. I'm not too sure. I don't think they did. I know Porsche, for example, they didn't do a V6. What else? BMW don't do V6s. Why? What is the world gone into? Like, literally most German car manufacturers, they don't do V6 powered cars. Such as Porsches. I mean, a flat six, yeah, mostly, but in V6, no. Porsches. What else? Porsches, BMWs, Mercedes. Porsches, BMWs, Mercedes. What is going on? Come on, they should do a V6 for the first time. I mean, Mercedes did do one. No, hold on. I don't think. Oh man, I don't think they did. I'm not too sure. Oh my god, say it. So we got the Chrysler Crossfire SRT6 from 2005 to 2006. It's known as the SRT6, and it has a Mercedes AMG M112, a 3.2 liter V6, making good power, 350 horsepower. From a V6, that's pretty good. 3.2 liter, that's pretty good. 350 horsepower. Not too bad. 0 to 60 was completely improved. 4.8 seconds. 4.8 seconds. So 4.8 seconds. The same as the Continental GT. The first one. With the 6-liter twin turbo W12 motor. The same motor you get in the VW Phaeton. Because VW owned Bentley. Not only that, they even owned Seat, which is a Spanish car company. What else? Bugatti they even own Skoda, because since the Fabia is a VW Golf underneath, pretty much as much as I know what car manufacturers VW own. Mostly they own Porsches, because Porsche is owned by VW. So it is quite odd when it's like some German car manufacturers and others from different countries are owned by the Germans. So it's quite odd. Anyways, I mean, most British cars these days are usually owned by the Germans. Modern ones, yeah, the old ones, not really. The most older ones, they're like proper British. But modern ones, they're mostly owned by the Germans, like their interiors, engines, electronics, all that kind of stuff. It depends on what car manufacturers they're up against. I mean, it depends, really. Okay, so we got the Chrysler Crossfire SRT6. So SRT6, it's a Chrysler Crossfire SRT6 from the year 0506. It's known as the SRT6 with a 3.2 liter naturally aspirated Mercedes AMG M112 V6 motor with 350 horsepower, 0 to 60. So it makes the same power as a 1986, I think, Pontiac Firebird. It's a Pontiac Firebird. I'm not too sure. I'm not 100% too sure. Not 100% too certain, but I'll say 350 horsepower, 0 to 64.8 seconds, 0 to 64.8 seconds, quarter mile 12.8 seconds. Around 8 seconds slower than the 0 to 60 configuration. So there's a difference there. Anyway, so next is the big dog itself, the SRT 8. That's right, the SRT 8. And so far for the SRTs, we got, how many there are? 8 cars from SRT 8. So the first one we got is obviously the 300C SRT 8 Gen 1 from the years 05 to 2010. So all of those versions are SRTs. So it has a 6.1 liter naturally aspirated 392 Hemi V8 motor with 425 horsepower, 0 to 64.7 seconds, 0 to 64.7 seconds, quarter mile 13.2 seconds, 13.2 seconds. So that's the 300C. Get that out the way. Next is the Magnum SRT8, which is essentially a wagon version of the Charger, presumably. The year was 0508. Same engine, 6.1 liter naturally aspirated Hemi 392 V8. Same power, 425 horsepower, 0 to 60 was slightly slower by 5.6 seconds. Quarter mile only half a second slower from 13.2 to 13.7 seconds, so half a second slower than the 300C. Kind of odd considering it's a wagon. Well, a state, as some people call it, so a station wagon. Next is the Charger SRT8. SRT8 Gen 1 LX with the same exact motor, same power, 425 horsepower, 0 to 60 was slightly faster, 5.4 seconds. And then we got the Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT8 Gen 3 WK. Both that and the Charger were from 2006 to 2010. All those four have a 6.1 liter naturally aspirated Hemi 392 V8. But this time the Cherokee has 420 horsepower, so 5 less than the 300C, Magnum, and Charger. So we got the Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT8 Gen 3 WK from 06 to 2010 with the same exact 6.1 liter naturally aspirated 392 Hemi V8 motor, 420 horsepower, so 5 horsepower less than the other three, but well, it's pretty much the same amount. Anyway, 0 to 60 was slightly faster, 5.2 seconds. Quarter mile a little bit faster as well, 13.5 seconds. So 13.5 seconds. Next is the Challenger SRT8. So next is the Challenger SRT8. Those before the facelift. Oh god. Alright, from 08 to 2014. It had from 08 to 2010, 6.1 liter, and then from 2011 to 2014, it had a 6.4 liter, 390. I believe the 6.1 is a 385 or something like that. I can't really tell for certain. So it was 6.1 and 6.4 liter naturally aspirated V8 motors. Both are from 2008 to 2014. The Challenger SRT8s before the facelift. So the 6.1 was from 08 to 2010. 6.4 from 2011 to 2014. The 6.1 liter made 425 horsepower. So the 6.1 liter made 425 horsepower. Pretty good. So 425 horsepower. The 6.4 liter version made an extra 45 horsepower more, from 425 to a monstrous 470 horsepower. 470 horsepower, that's pretty good. 0 to 60 was a little bit different. 5.3 seconds for the 08 2010 version, 4.5 for the 2014 version. And the quarter mile was slightly different as well. 13.6 for the 08 2010 version, so 13.6, and the 12.9 for 2011 So 0.7 of a second difference there. Okay, next is the Chrysler 300 SRT8. From 2011 to 2015, also an SRT8. This time with a 6.4 liter naturally aspirated Hemi 392 Apache V8 motor, 470 horsepower, 0 to 64 seconds flat. Don't know how to do that, but pretty good. Quarter mile unknown, because it doesn't have the quarter mile. Presumably it hasn't done it. Presumably, I don't think it has. So the 300 SRT8 from 2011 to 2015. Also an SRT8. This is 6.4 liter naturally aspirated Apache Hemi 392 V8 motor with 470 horsepower, 0 to 64 seconds flat, quarter miles unknown. Next is the Charger SRT8 Gen 2 LD before the facelift, from 2012 to 2014. Also an SRT8 with the same engine, same horsepower. 0 to 60 was slightly slower by just over half a second. 4.6 seconds. 4.6 seconds. 0.6 of a second slower than a Chrysler. Our quarter mile it does show 12.8 seconds, so it's the fastest, unless the Chrysler did a little bit faster or was it a little bit slower. I can't tell. But for now, the fastest was obviously the Charger by 12.8 seconds for the quarter mile. And then last but certainly not the very least we got is the Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT8 Gen 4 SRT8 Gen 4. WK2 before the facelift from 2012 to 2013, the shortest lifespan for only a year. Also an SRT8 with the same engine, same horsepower, same 0 to 60 as a Charger. Quarter mile, half a second slower from 12.8 to 13.3 seconds. Unbelievable. Anyways, next is the mighty big dog itself, the SRT 10 clan. The Clash of the Titans, as I like to call it. So from SRT 10, we got the Viper, SRT 10, Gen 3, ZB1, the Ram SRT 10, and another Viper SRT 10. So another Viper SRT 10, but another Viper SRT 10, but the Gen 4, ZB2. So, God lord. Okay, so starting off with a Gen 1 Viper from 03 to 07. All three are SRT10s, just to be clear. So it has an 8.3 liter naturally aspirated Chrysler derived Viper V10 motor with 500 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. Pretty good. 3.7 seconds. Quarter miles dealt with in 11.7 seconds. 11.7 seconds. Next is a Dodge Ram, SRT10 from 04 to 06. Another SRT10. Same engine, same power, but 0 to 60 was slower. A lot slower. By, what was it? The calculation of that? 1.7 seconds slower. Nearly 2 seconds slower. 5.4 seconds. Despite it being a heavy pickup truck, it does it slower. Because the heavier the car gets, the slower it gets. So Vipers, 0 to 60, 3.7 seconds. The Ram truck, 5.4 seconds it took. Quarter mile was different as well. The Viper, 11.7. The Ram truck, 13.8 seconds. Just over 2.1 seconds slower. Well, 2 seconds slower, but yeah, again, despite it being a heavy pickup truck, it gets slower. Slower than a Viper. Unbelievable. With the same motor, are you kidding me? Anyways, but still, let me cheer you up. It gets a little bit better. We got another Viper SRT10, but it's now known as the Gen 4 ZB2 from 08 to 2010. So 08 to 2010. So 08 to 2010. So this is known as, so obviously the last SRT10 made available, but this time the motor was slightly bigger from 8.3 to 8.4 liters. Still same naturally aspirated Viper V10 motor, but horsepower has got a huge increase from 500 to 600 horsepower. 100 horsepower. 100 horsepower more than the standard one. Pretty good. 0 to 60 was, yeah, just a tenth of a second slower than the Gen 3 ZB1 Viper from 3.7 to 3.8 seconds. It's probably a little bit heavier because of the displacement, presumably, but still pretty quick. Quarter mile, though, is much faster than the original Viper. 10.9 seconds, so 0.8, almost a full second faster than the previous Viper. Is it the Gen 4 ZB2 Viper, SRT10 from '08 to 2010, also an SRT10, has got an 8.4 liter naturally aspirated Viper V10 motor with 600 horsepower, 0 to 60 3.8 seconds. So 0 to 60 3.8 seconds, quarter mile 10.9 seconds. Next is my most favorite one, the mighty SR, the mighty Viper SRT GTS version of the car from 2013 to 2017, obviously, because 2017 was the final. 2017 was the final year. 2017 was the final year the Viper was made. However, there's rumors speculating that the Viper might be making a return, not just with the V10, but presumably there might be a chance that it would also have a V8, possibly twin turbos. I'm not too sure. Maybe naturally aspirated or supercharged. We'll never know. We'll never know. But said that Viper was deceased for over nearly 8 years. 8 years! It was just insane. Almost less than a decade. Less than a decade, it was deceased. Man, time flies with that. I'll tell you that. So we got the Viper. So we got the Viper SRT from 2013 to 17. It's known as the SRT. Obviously, same 8.4 liter naturally aspirated Chrysler derived Viper V10. Power was between 640 to 645 horsepower. So 5 horsepower difference there. The one with 640 was from 2012 to 2014, because in 2012 that was when it was being made, presumably as a proper production car. And then 2013 was the year it was released, presumably. But I'm not too sure. But so for 2012, so for 2012 to 2012 to 2014, so 2012 to 2014, it made 640 horsepower. From 2015 to 2017, it made 645 horsepower. So 645 horsepower. So we got the Viper SRT 2013-17 SRT 8.4 liter naturally aspirated Chrysler derived V8, not V8. So 8.4 liter naturally aspirated Chrysler derived. So 8.4 liter naturally aspirated Chrysler derived Viper V10 motor. Power 2012-14 640 horsepower. 2015-17 645 horsepower. Both do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Quarter mile 11.5 seconds. Quarter mile 11.5 seconds. Quarter mile 11.5 seconds. Okay, last but certainly not the very least we got is the Chrysler 300C SRT design, the Gen 1. And this one is a bit unusual. I'll explain. So from the year '08 to 2010, it was an SRT like the Viper, but unlike the Viper, the engine, power, performance, all that kind of stuff is completely different. This one has the OM642 motor from Mercedes-Benz, a 3-liter a 3-liter V6 diesel. Are you kidding me? A 3-liter Mercedes-Benz a 3-liter Mercedes-Benz OM642 naturally aspirated V6 diesel motor. Unless it's turbocharged, I'm not too sure, or supercharged, I don't know. But diesel V6 making 215 horsepower. 0 to 60 in 7.6 seconds. 7.6 seconds. Quarter mile was dealt with in 14.6 seconds. 14.6 seconds. Unbelievable. As I finish off with the last one, unbelievable. Just really, yeah. I know, guys. It is disappointing for that last one. I'll admit, it is. What? Why? Come on, like. This is killing me. Why? Just why? Urgh. Sorry, I'm just like, why at the end it has to finish off with something dreary? Not with something cool. Like, why? Unbelievable. But I promise you the next video will be much better. Speaking of which, that'll be it for tonight. So for my next video will be the final video of SRT with the manufacturer motors or engines. Starting off with the first one was in order from 4-cylinder all the way to the V10s. The mighty 10-cylinder motors. And then I'll wrap it up. Okay, so that'll be it for tonight. So if you guys like this video, like it, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so you literally don't want to make, bring uploads. Okay, so that'll be it. I'll see you guys in the bed for the next video. But until then, stay safe, have a great evening, and have a great day tomorrow morning. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So yeah, take care, folks. So take care, folks. Stay safe. So take care, folks. So take care, folks. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Peace.